The next piece of your paper prototype is going to be the flowchart. And if you go on the assignment requirements document on page 2, you will find all the information you need to complete this section of the project. So what are the requirements? The flowchart is going to be a diagram. It has boxes representing every screen or page clearly labeled. It'll have diamond shapes representing decision points if necessary. So for example, if your navigation is such that you're going to ask students to pass an assessment before they can go to the next section of the lesson, then you would use a decision point to say, did they pass the lesson? Yes, goes to the next one. If no, you send them back to whatever screen they need to review. It'll also have arrows connecting every box. And when I mean every box, it's every box. Every box has to have one arrow coming into it and another arrow coming out of it. The only two exceptions are going to be the very first box where these students enter the lesson, which is not going to have any incoming arrow, and your very last box, which is not going to have a outgoing arrow. Color code your diagram. Use colors, for example, to identify each type of screen or page, and do that consistently with the colors that you use for your wireframes. If you'd rather not use color code, then use some type of a textual reference, a title that you use consistently throughout your document. And also remember to put a legend for any kind of color coding and any kind of symbols that you may use to represent any part of the diagram that needs to be explained. Now, don't shrink that flowchart so much that because you need to fit it on the page that I cannot read it. I'd rather you break it down into a number of different images and insert those multiple images instead. Also, if you create them using an online tool and it allows you to share using a link, just send me the link and I will be happy to go to the website to take a look at it. Just make sure that permissions are set so that I can just go to the link and view it. But don't put a large image and shrink it so much so that it fits the paper that it's not legible. In terms of information to help you understand what a flowchart is and how to build one, the course syllabus has the link to this article here, and it provides some basic information. Just go through it enough that you can understand the parts that you will need and how to represent the lesson that you're designing. There are some tools that you can use to create your flowchart. Of course, we all know about Word SmartArt and PowerPoint SmartArt, but I would recommend that you actually do not use those types of diagrams. They look like they could serve, but in reality they are not very flexible to provide the kinds of connections that you will need for this. It is going to be much harder to change the types of shapes and to create a very comprehensive diagram in general. They are created for simpler types of diagrams. Now, you're welcome to use it if you want to. It's just that it probably is going to end up being more harm than good. So you're going to spend a lot of time customizing the SmartArt because it's not a very flexible tool. But I can recommend some online tools which have been free. I haven't gone back to check all of them, but you can set up a free account and it allows you to create a diagram, and probably just the one that you need for this you'll be able to create for free. So one tool is Bubble US, and these first two tools are actually tools to create concept maps. So Bubble US is one of them. MindMeister works as well. And then there's Glyphy.com, which is especially created for flowcharting. But this one in particular not only provides you the advantage of creating the flowchart, but also the wireframes that you need. So that's an option there. You just have to see what the limitations are. The advantage of these concept mapping or flowcharting tools is that they're a lot more flexible than your PowerPoint diagram features, and they're relatively easy to use. For example, if I wanted to add another figure to my diagram, I can connect it, so I can connect it from here to here. And this is actually going to be my no. I need to move this a little bit so that there's a little bit more space. So you can easily add as many boxes for each of the pages on your project. You label those boxes using the name of the actual content that you have, not just generic names. You draw lines connecting the boxes so that you can show the flow of how your students are going to be accessing these different parts of your site, and modify colors, change appearance and all that relatively easily.